And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, a real estate and finance expert, and goes to bat for you every day as your consumer advocate. Your host, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truth. Sit around your real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning, and over 80 categories now with the Real Estate Quarterback Show and our second brand, the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we all want to educate, entertain you, enlighten, but most importantly, engage in an effort to help you win.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Now I want you to pull out your smartphone and save our Consumer Advocate Hotline number in your phone. It's 813-917-1894.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-917-1894.
Baby, don't forget my number.
And we want you to bookmark realestateradiotampa.com. That's our website, blog site, a plethora of information available there. Links to all of our expert contributors, the finest folks in all of Tampa Bay that we've thoroughly vetted, we've researched, we've made sure that they are the best in their category of advocacy to help you win no matter what you're facing. You can also see our listings from Platinum MVP Realty. I'm a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay, featured in Florida Realtor Magazine, Tampa Bay Business Journal, multiple times recognized for innovations, helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties. Also a published author and a professional speaker, so we're looking to get engagements out there if anybody would like to reach out about that. And in studio with me today, my co-host, Curt Lorden. Welcome back in.
Brandon, how are you, buddy? Listen, I feel pretty saucy today, actually. I'm in a really, really good mood, and I'm rocking the Ohio State hat. I figured if the listeners out there and the people who are reviewing online know that there is a Ohio State fan in the studio, probably boost ratings.
There we go. Hey. Let's do it. Let's love it.
I mean, we're on the heels of football season, and I couldn't be more excited.
We're there. We're close, man. We are very close. And this segment is brought to you by my health team, consisting of Michael Vogt, expert massage therapist here in Tampa Bay, Back in Health Massage, helping people with neck, back, shoulder, hip, and leg pain get better. And 3750 Gun Highway, Suite number 106 in Tampa. Now, Michael Vogt with Back in Health Massage, he's been voted top 10 massage services in Tampa Bay, as voted by the readers of the Tampa Bay Business Journal's Best in the Biz Awards. Also want to give a shout out to my man, Ray Milton, Ray's Vegan Soul, where I'll hit you with the flavor. Does an awesome job cooking these great meals for me. Organic, awesome food that is so portable. It's great because I bring it with me in my vehicle when I'm running to appointments or even on the boat on the weekends out there at Freedom Boat Club. It's always good to have that meal with you, Curt.
Oh, it does. And I mean, he just needs to come back in studio. My stomach growls every time you say his name.
Great food, awesome stuff. And you got to have that health team, what else do you have in this world if you don't have your health? So it's so important, take care of your health. Reach out to our health team. Check out realestateradiotampa.com for all of our expert contributors. And, Curt, we're going to talk about credit here in a moment. I've got William Crowley, a.k.a. the Credit Magician, calling in. So, it's one of those areas that people often overlook.
They do. And unfortunately, they go on the freecreditreport.com and this, that, and the other, and that's not a true indication of what your credit looks like because it doesn't have necessarily the filters. So, if you're looking to get an auto loan or a car or a home loan, you want to get ahead of the game. So have someone pull it so then we can align you with someone like, Crawley to fix the issues that you may have, because sometimes if you wait too long, the issue, becomes too overwhelming and it costs way too much money to fix.
Yeah, it exacerbates the problem. The longer you wait, you have issues with happening with credit. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring William Crowley, a.k.a. the Credit Magician, on the phone here. William, what is new out there, man? What do our listeners need to know about credit improvement, credit restoration, and identity theft prevention?
It's a great subject, and I really appreciate the input from the panel there. The credit industry, the credit repair industry, has been looked on, with a lot of scorn, I guess I would say, because they think that a lot of people think we're doing something illegal, and the bottom line is we just trying to help people get back over that hump. A lot of people have ran into misfortune, financial misfortune, that is, over the last portion of their life, and now we're here to get them back on their feet legally. Now that's the most important aspect of it, is legally using the Fair Credit Reporting Act and going after the negative information on a person's credit report. Most people think that once negative items land on your credit report, and that it's there for 7 years or more, and that nothing can be done until that time frame, and that's totally untrue. I tell people all the time, this is a consumer show, and we advocate consumer protection and using the laws that can benefit the consumer. I'm not trying to tell people to stop paying their bills or get bad credit just to go through my service, but if you have ran into those type of problems, then use the laws of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and let's go after the credit reporting agencies for violation of due process. That's what we're doing, violation of due process according to the Fair Credit Reporting Act as it pertains to the credit agencies. So the negative information, no matter what it is, bankruptcy, tax liens, late payments, collections, charge-offs, inquiries, you name it, this information should be challenged, and if not all of it, the majority of this information can be legally removed from your credit report based on a technicality. Now, what people ought to do is take advantage of the promotional block. I'm going to give the number out even on the air, so if you do call in for the special promo, there's additional items that I will be sending out to you. But people need to take this number down right now and put a promotional block on your credit report. Prevent yourself from becoming a victim of identity theft. That's 888-567-8688. 888-567-8688. Everyone should have a promotional block on their credit report, and this will curb a lot of the identity theft people out there from trying to take advantage, trying to look at your credit report or retrieve your information, because it's going to disallow the credit reporting agencies from using your information for promotional purposes.
Yeah, it's important. Is there a website also that you can do that instead of making a call?
Yeah, that's and I don't know exactly. I think it's opt-out pre-screen. That's it, optoutprescreen.com.
That's right. Yeah, I remember that one now. So
yeah, pre-screen.
Yeah, it's so important to look at your credit. It's an area that can bring, it can add so much value or it can take value away. I'm going to bring it to Curt here. Curt, what you're seeing, you see this happen a lot of times when people will come to you to say, hey, I want to buy this home. I fell in love with this beautiful home. Mm-hmm. And then what happens?
Well, then they go through the pre-approval process and they find out that they have a 30-day late from 6 months ago, or they had a bankruptcy 5 years ago and they're pretty much, they went to Target and they spent a little bit too much, which took them over the limit, which dropped their score 100 points.
Yep.
So, you go to the doctor every single year for a checkup. You really should do the exact same thing with your credit, because things kind of sneak up. All of a sudden you have some sort of an ailment in your body someplace that you didn't feel, but you went to the doctor and he identified it. Same thing with your credit. I mean, you just have to monitor it, stay on top of it, and make sure that you don't overextend yourself.
Yeah, it's so important. Exactly. It's so important, William. Other notes?
Yeah, that is so true there. And a lot of times we got to convince people to be proactive, because we don't want to transform the mortgage brokers, the underwriters, and the realtors into credit repair people. Their job is to get you into that home. So if you can be proactive, look at your credit report beforehand. As the gentleman was saying earlier, the free credit reports that the agencies present, they're okay, but it's better to get a credit report possibly from a lender. It's more detailed, has much more information on there, and then you can start to address that information ahead of time and get this information removed, so that when you go to the lender, they're ready to do their job instead of transforming them into credit repair companies, etc.
Well, there's also a misnomer out there that if you get your credit pulled by multiple people, that it'll hurt your score, which is untrue when it comes to auto finance and mortgage lending. You can have unlimited pulls, and I think the time frame is 45 days, and it essentially counts as one inquiry. So you can go shop for the best mortgage broker to work with. Notice I didn't say best rate. I said best mortgage broker to work with, or auto finance company.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. William Crawley, the credit magician, partner on our show for over 2 years now. He's a resource for you. Again, the goal of this show is to educate, entertain, and most importantly, it's engage. So if you're a listener out there, we would love to have you reach out. What we're going to do right now is offer you a free credit package that William has and can set you up with. Now, this is a free credit package. It's going to teach you how to opt out of pre-screening, cut off all that junk mail coming to your mailbox, reduce your chances of identity theft, teach you how to potentially improve your credit scores, and also avoid that potential to get hacked or to have your identity stolen. So go ahead, for the first 5 listeners, just do this. Let's text the word credit to our consumer advocate hotline. Text credit now, 813-917-1894. Text credit to our hotline at 813-917-1894. We're going to get you in touch with the best credit magician, William Crowley. He's going to take care of you and set you up, and he can also set up a time to meet with you. So text the word credit. We'll reply back with more information. And so, William, thanks for calling in. Appreciate you being a consumer advocate out there.
You got it, buddy.
Take care. All right, so when we come back, we're going to talk more in studio here with Curt Lorden. He's the branch manager of Interlinc Mortgage. We're going to talk about a weekly economic update, as well as you paid for it. Tampa spending more on renovating swimming pools than fixing roads. This from News Channel 8. So we're going to jump into that, more from our expert contributors. Stay with us. Don't touch that dial. Brandon Rhymes, Real Estate Quarterback Show, realestateradiotampa.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm Brandon Rhymes, your host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show. We got the Mortgage Maverick in studio today. Curt Lorden over here is the co-host today.
Regulators. We regulate any stealing of his property. We're damn good, too.
Told you I was fired up today.
Geek off the street.
Yeah, regulating. So, and want to touch on a couple of hot listings that we've got here as well. I got a Pinellas County beachfront property here at 13235 Gulf Boulevard, unit number 409. It's in the Madeira Bay Resort 2 condo, 2-bedroom, 2-bath property here, condo hotel, and it's listed at only $239,000 for a Gulf View condominium, condotel. You can rent this thing out. Curt, you familiar with the condotels, obviously?
Yeah, they're a great investment. I mean, you can rent them out by the day, by the weekend, by the week. I mean, you kind of set whatever the condo association allows, and you can have your mortgage plus an infinite amount of money on top of that each and every year, especially in Madeira Beach, which is gorgeous. I used to live off Doomy Road, and you go down to the Angry Pepper and go to the public beach. I mean, it's a gorgeous area down there.
It's awesome. Fully furnished, 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo, turnkey, a few blocks away to John's Pat's. You walk down there, you get food, you go rent a boat if you want, king-size bed in the master suite. I mean, it's just a great setup. Madeira Bay Resort 2 condo, 13235 Gulf Boulevard, unit number 409 in Tampa. Just giving you a little sample of Pinellas County. I mean, the best part about this one is you can go swimming in your swimming pool right there on the community pool, or you can walk across the water and stick your toes into the beaches of the beautiful Gulf Coast of Tampa Bay. All right, this segment is brought to you by the Maids Cleaning Service. They do a great job cleaning our real estate properties. Giving a shout out to the Maids Cleaning Service. They are referred for a reason. 24-hour, 100% satisfaction guaranteed, or they'll come back and clean any area that you're unhappy with. Shout out to the Maids Cleaning Service. Do a great job on our real estate properties, as well as Smart Move Moving and Storage, the official moving partner of the Real Estate Quarterback Show. Say hello to Hannah and her team over at Smart Move Moving and Storage. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. And back here in studio, live from iHeartRadio, beautiful South Tampa, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday. It's your most important hour on the radio. We want to help you win in any marketplace, no matter what you're facing out there. You know, let's face it, there's a lot of things in this real estate finance credit area that can create a lot of stress in your life. And we want to help you avoid that. So, Curt, what do you think's topical right now, man? What's happening out there?
Well, you know, we talked last week with Barry. He was in the show, and he talked about over the next 18 months, what we should expect. Mm-hmm. A pullback in the stock market, home values still increasing, interest rates dropping. And I kind of went back to a lot of the sales meetings that you and I did back at Residential Finance and things that I talked about. And I looked at what happened about the housing bust and how this election would impact buying a home. Yeah. And it won't. It'll have no impact whatsoever. And everyone's talking about this new bust that may happen. Yep. Well, let's go back in 2002, which the stock market was down. And in 2007, it was at a very all-time high. Right. If people took equity out of their home, and instead of buying a BMW or going on vacation, say they took $50,000 out and dropped it in the stock market. Yeah. They would have made double, triple, quadruple, maybe even higher than that on their gains. And so what if their house depreciated? They utilized their equity. They could either pay their house off or turn into a rental and buy something else cash. Yep. So if you start leveraging these assets and utilizing and taking advantage, and we're seeing a mirror image of what happened back in 2002, we always look at this get rich quick scheme. Sure. Late night infomercials, multi-level marketing schemes, work from home, sell clothes, whatever. Well, this is probably one of the best get-rich-quick schemes out there. Buy a house, let it appreciate, align yourself with a great financial planner, take the money out, put it in the market. Whatever your equity does is insignificant because you're putting it into an investment vehicle. Right. Instead of buying a BMW, which is a depreciating asset, or going on vacation. I mean, it makes no sense on why this is our second chance, America, to be able to build that wealth and not worry about don't be greedy and buy things that are insignificant. Especially in Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, Bradenton, Sarasota. I mean, we live in the best place in the United States of America to be owning real estate. Of course. And Barry even mentioned that last week when he called in. Barry Habib, it's he's well recognized as calling the 2008 crisis before it happened. He's somewhat of a prognosticator when it comes to predicting trends in real estate. And we asked him specifically about that, and he said, "Listen, Tampa Bay, you are sitting pretty. You've got great job creation. We've got investment and infrastructure. We're recruiting these college graduates that have so much talent. They're coming to this area, just like they're going to Austin, Texas, or the Carolinas. In some cases, different places are going to draw different crowds. But no better place to be putting your money. Smart money is going into real estate. And yesterday too, I just heard one of my friends from Business Mastery, Rod Cleef. He's got a very successful podcast. He's getting like 3,000 downloads a day now.
And he just had an interview with Grant Cardone, who's been on the show. And, Grant was talking about some of his strategies with buying apartment complexes. There's so many options for you out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're talking about the Madeira Beach property that we just, featured. I was talking to my sister on the way over to the studio, and she's like, we had one of the coldest summers. Because she lived with me for a year and then moved back and didn't bring in her summer clothes. And she's like, you got to ship them up to me because now I'm hot and we're already in August. That's just going to lead into probably a very cold winter, which means a lot of these snowbirds are going to be fed up.
Yep.
Let's move from Ohio, bring our Ohio State hats down to here, Florida, and let's rent them out. Rent out this great property in Madeira Beach for a week or a weekend or a month at a time. So, I mean, sometimes you have to take a risk. You have to buy that investment property or buy that real estate and just wisely utilize your equity So,
and one of my, mentors, obviously I talk about him all the time, is old Tony Robbins. I mean, and he went around with his book and interviewed the world's wealthiest men, Ray Dalio, guys like Warren Buffett, guys like, those types of guys that are putting money. They're in charge of, these trusts that set up by Harvard and Yale. I mean, they're actually, Charlie Munger, some of these guys. And it was all boiled down to, they all said that it all boils down to asymmetrical risk reward. So where can you put money and you have this very limited downside opportunity with so much upside potential? And right now we're talking about real estate. If you just joined us, we're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show here in Tampa Bay. We're talking with Curt Lorden. He's the branch manager at Interlinc Mortgage, well-respected mortgage professional here in Tampa Bay. And I'm Brandon Rhymes, your host. But yeah, Curt, when we talk about real estate, so many times people, they have all these misconceptions. So let's break them down. Down payment, 3.5% in most cases.
Yep. Connor and I were just talking about that in the green room.
Yeah.
So 3%, 3.5%. There's down payment assistance. Could be zero out of pocket.
100% for VAs.
100% for VAs. VAs could walk in with literally no money out of pocket, take a little bit of a higher of an interest rate, let your lender credit the closing cost, or have the seller pay. And if you choose the higher rate, in 6 months to a year, do an interest rate reduction loan, which is a streamlined refinance.
Yep.
And you get to keep your money in your retirement, in your assets, in your money market, mutual funds, whatever.
Sure. And we urge you to get a review there, too. We got Michael Lisenko. He's a safe money coach here in Tampa Bay. Can do a review of what your current holdings are. If you've got money you've been pulling out of your 401k, pulling out of your paycheck, rather, putting it into your 401k. A lot of people call that a retirement plan. I call that a good start.
Right.
What we want to do is we want to get with Michael Lisenko, let him look at your retirement holdings and just find out maybe you are at a point where you're kind of setting up for potential inflation. There are some talks about currency issues potentially happening that could affect the stock market. I think Barry was talking about how it's overvalued right now with the stock market being overvalued at high rates. But there's so many options for you. And back to the down payment point you were making. If you take 3% of $500,000, roughly $15,000, right? Where else can you take $15,000 and control a $500,000 asset?
You can't. You can't. I did when I purchased my house, it's going to be a year on August 12th. I put 3.5% down, and I did a CMA on my house last week, and it's already increased in value of 40%.
Wow.
So you're not going to get those rate of returns anywhere else. And even if I got a 20% return, that's still a heck of a lot of money. Now, what I choose to do with that equity is going to be paramount. Do I let it sit and it's just, it's Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, it just doesn't exist?
Yep.
Or do I make it relevant, pull it out and utilize it for good versus evil? Don't treat your house like an ATM, treat it like an investment vehicle.
Right.
And then when you refinance, shorten your term, move that closer to your debt elimination date. That way your assets are increasing, your liabilities are decreasing. I say it almost every single week on the show.
Yeah.
I mean, last year of the past 12 months, we've gained over $260 billion in equity. If you own a home, you're part of that.
Absolutely.
So get a CMA, find out what your house is worth, investigate the idea of refinancing, taking equity out. Even if you put it in a money market account for the next 18 months till the stock market drops and does that 20% pullback that's been predicted,
right?
Then invest. and let it go back up.
Yep. So let's do a call to action for you action takers out there that have a goal in mind. Text value to our hotline, 813-917-1894. Find out what your home is valued at, 813-917-1894. You can call or text our hotline, and we're going to let you know what the value of your property is simply by sending a text message to that number, our hotline. And when we come back, we're going to hear more from our experts here in studio. We also have in studio Bob Burmaster representing Graphics Edge, and we're going to talk about You Paid For It, Tampa spending more on renovating swimming pools than fixing roads, from News Channel 8, and more from our experts here in studio. So stay with us. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, realestateradiotampa.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Real Estate Quarterback Show, realestateradiotampa.com. And this segment is brought to you by Electric Today, service today without delay. At Electric Today, they do electrical work, air conditioning work in existing homes and businesses. For all of your electrical and air conditioning needs, call Electric Today, 813-653-4221. 653-4221. Service today without delay. Give a shout out to Manny Polizzi with Electric Today. And we're back here in studio, live from iHeartRadio, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's your most important hour. On the weekends, we also have a show on 102.5 The Bone on the FM dial, and you can watch our live stream as well from our website at realestateradiotampa.com, or also one of our partners as well as WeBeam TV. We're getting around 25 to 30,000 viewers a month on that outlet alone. Really excited about things happening with the show. And I got a Pinellas County featured listing of the month here in Pinellas County. It's 1126 Marina Drive in Tarpon Springs in Anclote Isle subdivision. 4 bedrooms, 4 bath, over 3,880 square feet heated. And it's a beautiful property here, extraordinary waterfront property, boater's paradise, deep water access to the Gulf of Mexico, new docks, power and water. Too many upgrades to list here, but it's listed at $1.399 million. If you're in that marketplace, we would love to talk to you and show you this property at 1126 Marina Drive. Compliments of Victor Alleman with Platinum MVP Realty. And this property is actually going to be featured on a major network in August or September. Victor and myself were on this. We filmed this show. We signed non-circumvention, so we can't go into detail about it. But very interesting, very cool stuff happening around the show, and just really excited to see things happening. So let's go ahead and bring Bob Burmaster into the conversation, representing Graphics Edge. And what say you, sir?
Hey, how you doing, Brian? And thanks for having me on the show.
Hey, my pleasure.
Yeah, what's hot this time of year is really some boat wraps.
Yeah.
So it's a great way to save the value you have in the boat. It protects the gel coats. It differentiates yourself, whether you're an individual consumer, gives you your unique look to the boat, or if you're a business, it's a great way to advertise.
Yeah, I love it, man. It's Curt and I were talking. He showed me pictures of his beautiful boat. He's got a nice boat as well, and potential, man, maybe we could put the Interlinc Mortgage on one side.
Listen, Corey and I have been talking about it for months now about doing an Interlinc Mortgage Services wrap, and we can do mortgage, Interlinc Mortgage on one side and the Real Estate Quarterback Show on the other. I think it'd be fantastic. So we'll have to talk after the show.
Yeah, especially with a boat, it just catches the eye on the water. Yeah. You're so used to seeing a white boat out there. Mm-hmm. When you see a wrap boat, it just immediately catches the eye and gets a lot of attention.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. So whenever you're wrapping these boats, Bob, you're taking into account the free space up top, what do they call that, the freeboard, right?
Yeah, the freeboard.
So you're wrapping it above that to where the bottom, it's not going to be too much in the water when it's sitting?
Yeah, you don't want to get down into the water line, especially with salt water. That'll start eating away.
Okay.
If you keep the boat out of the water and you keep it trailered, you can do a little bit more with it. But for most cases, it's in the water is when everybody's going to see it, and that's what we're at.
Yeah, that'd be so cool, man, wrapping it up. Now, you got graphicedge.com. That's the website, right?
Yes, graphicsedge.com.
So, Bob, talk a little bit more about just in general, we talk a lot about a comprehensive review when it comes to finances, mortgage, your financial advisor. You want to make sure your banker's talking to your accountant, all the different folks that are involved with your comprehensive view when it comes to your financial and business blueprint. Now, we also talk about it a lot on this show as well when it comes to a marketing perspective. So we have radio, FM radio, we got bus bench seats out there, billboards, and Bob's helping us out with our outdoor type advertising and signage. So maybe let's talk a little bit about the variation of work that you do.
Yeah, with the outdoor signage is huge right now. That's where everybody gets the attention. They're sitting in traffic, you're seeing the vehicles, you're seeing billboards like you mentioned. So any outdoor advertising is a great way to spend your marketing dollars. For a vehicle wrap, you get upwards of 20,000 impressions per day.
Wow.
So where else can you get 20,000 people seeing your business out there per day is on a vehicle wrap.
Right, and a big point there, too, is that you're going to have that one-time fee.
Yeah.
You're not going to have that ongoing.
Yeah, exactly. We also advertise in other mediums. Like, as an example, we're advertising in a magazine. And what we're paying for 6 months of advertisement, I could get a vehicle for 3 years.
Right.
That's if I want to change out after 3 years.
Right.
So the bang for the buck for vehicle advertisement is incredible.
If you just joined us, you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show. We're talking with Bob Burmaster. He's the owner of Graphics Edge, graphicsedge.com, doing car wraps, boat wraps, signage. A lot of times you do it at the front. If you got a glass space at your front of your office, Bob can help you with that as well.
Yeah, with the storefronts, when you put any graphics in your front windows, it increases walk-in traffic by about 15 to 20%. So any advertisement you can get up in your front windows is a great way to kind of draw in that especially if you walk by traffic.
Yeah, I love that idea. If you're in a walkable area, you have an opportunity to put a call to action.
Exactly. Yeah, we're introducing a new product that allows you to play video or change out your images directly on your window.
Oh, wow.
And what that is, it's a film that gets put directly onto the window, and there's little micro beads that captures the light, and you project your image on it. So if you have a say your storefront's and it kind of hits the sun, you're still going to get a nice clean image on the window. So you can play full motion video on it. You can change out your messaging, your marketing message. If you, instead of changing out your graphics every month, 2 months for every holiday, every sale you're doing, you just go right into the computer, you change it on your Photoshop page.
Nice.
And plays directly onto your window.
Wow, that's really cool.
So especially if you have a company that has, a lot of things you want to offer your customers. So you're in a fitness center. It's nice to have your windows looking. You can show them what your gym looks like.
Yep.
But when you can play a video of showing your pool, people using the pool, showing different equipment that you have,
right?
It brings a new sense of life to your windows.
Yeah, especially when it's 97 degrees outside,
Exactly.
like it's been lately. The sunny and 75 is not true.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, Bob. So one thing I love about this show is that we have an opportunity to be a consumer advocate. We're helping business owners out there, but we also, sometimes have these special offers that we extend. What you got an offer today? I noticed.
Yeah, I'd love to offer your listeners 15% off for the first 5 that text in boat wrap.
Okay.
And that's for whether it's a boat wrap, wall mural, storefront, any graphic that you need, we'll give them a 15% discount.
Perfect. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and extend this offer out to our listening audience, and it's limited to the first 5 listeners who text in. If you'd like to take Bob Burmaster with Graphics Edge, graphicsedge.com up on this. He does all these awesome wraps, vehicle wraps, boat wraps, storefronts. Get 15% off. His normal pricing strategy is go ahead and text now. Text wraps or signage to 813-917-1894. That's our consumer advocate hotline. Go ahead and text wraps to 813-917-1894. Take Bob up on that offer. 15% off, Curt.
Corey, text in, please.
Text in, Corey.
Jump on the competition.
There you go. Yeah.
For the boat wraps, we've done anything from a canoe, kayaks, all the way up to an 87-foot yacht.
Okay.
So there is no, in particular, customer thinks my boat's too small or too big. You say we've done everything from, little kayak all the way up to the yachts. So we cover it all for them.
So you're saying size doesn't matter?
No, it doesn't. Not in this case.
So how does that work as far as, do you have graphic designers on staff, or do they give you just kind of what they're looking as like kind of like a tattoo where they give you kind of an idea and you guys draw it, or?
Yeah, we sit down with one of our designers and talk about the look and feel that you're looking to get out of the boat, or any vehicle wrapper as well.
Gotcha.
But they, we kind of draw out of your mind what you're looking for, and we do a mock-up of that vehicle, whether it's a vessel, and then you can make adjustments off of that. But it allows you to see what it's going to look like on your boat before you commit to anything. So that way you're not just seeing it on a piece of canvas; you're actually seeing it on your boat. Very cool.
And Bob, if people want to engage you, they can come over to your office, or you can go to their office and kind of give them that breakdown.
Yeah, exactly. Our location is at 7010 East Adamo Drive in Tampa. And you can stop in anytime from 9 to 5, or if you'd like to give us a call at 813-493-8000. We can come to your location. We do on-site estimates. We can get measurements off your boats. So especially for those with larger boats, it's sometimes difficult for them to get it out of the water and bring it to us. So we can do on-site installation. We work with several marinas where they pull the boats out for us, put up on blocks.
Nice.
We install the wrap, and it's back in the water the same day.
I love it. I love it. Support our local businesses here. Bob Burmaster, graphicsedge.com, 7010 East Adamo Drive in Tampa Bay. And direct dial is 493-8000. His phone number is 493-8000. Bob Burmaster does a great job. Did some cool stuff at our office. I appreciate that as well. Thanks again for that. Our office on Hillsborough Avenue there, 8325 West Hillsborough. Some great, beautiful-looking signage. The colors just pop. Put it on a piece of aluminum, I think, is what we did there.
Yeah, exactly.
And, but yeah, so we're coming into our next break, but don't touch that dial. More from our expert contributors in studio. Curt and I are also going to talk about this weekly economic update, gains in home buying and housing starts, and also you paid for it. Tampa spending more on renovating swimming pools than fixing roads. News from News Channel 8. So stay with us. The best is yet to come. You're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show and realestateradiotampa.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Real Estate Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty. And we're back here in the studio. We're your number one consumer advocate here in Tampa Bay, helping you sort through a lot of the nonsense in the mainstream media, avoid all that commission-based advice out there. We want you to turn off the news, focus on this show. Go to our website, realestateradiotampa.com. Check out our YouTube channel, a plethora of information and all of videos, great video content there from all of our 80-plus show partners now between our two brands, Real Estate Quarterback Show and the Consumer Quarterback Show as well. And we are looking for business owners out there that might be interested in joining our team. And we offer an on-air branding package. It's going to have you featured on the show multiple times during a 90-day period. You're going to have video and MP3 content created for you, legacy content that you can then email out and repurpose on social media and website. Also, invites to our monthly gratitude party. We've got a gratitude party coming up in a few weeks down at Hula Bay, our restaurant partner. Going to have a lot of fun there, as well as an opportunity to become a published author. All of our expert contributors have an opportunity to become a published author in our playbook. It's a kind of a living document that we're constantly updating with the newest partners, and it's all about consumer advocacy, helping the consumers out there sort through a lot of the nonsense and giving them the tips and things to do, things to avoid. And, of course, social media, we're going to help promote you on social media as well, special events, live events, and speaking opportunities as well. So that's our on-air branding package. You can submit the form at our website at realestateradiotampa.com or give us a call on our hotline at 813-917-1894.
Welcome to my house.
All right, Hillsborough County Property of the Month, 414 South Royal Palm Way in Tampa. 33609 is the zip. It's Beach Park. It's the most desirable area to live in Tampa Bay. 4 bedrooms, 3 full bath, 2 half bath. Over 4,800 square foot living on this beautiful, distinguished South Tampa Beach Park home. And it's actually on the cover of Homes and Land magazine this month as well. We've got the cover of Homes and Land magazine, 414 South Royal Palm Way, Tampa, listed at $1.195 million here. So a beautiful property, a great buying opportunity, and a great place to live, work, and play.
No shoes, no shirt, and no problem.
All right, before the break, we talked about this article, this news out of News Channel 8. It says, you paid for it. Tampa spending more on renovating swimming pools than fixing roads. Tampa City is spending millions on both, but some taxpayers don't think the city's leaders have their priorities right because pools are getting more than paving. In the past couple of years, the city has dedicated $2.5 million to renovating the historic Roy Jenkins swimming pool on Davis Island, and it's currently budgeted $3.9 million for similar renovations to the Cuscaden swimming pool in Ybor. Mayor Buckhorn just announced his $905 million budget proposal includes $175 million for capital improvements, but only $5.4 million for resurfacing roads, which is less than the combined cost of renovating the Jenkins and Cuscaden pools. Curt, what's your opinion on that?
So does that mean that Tampa thinks we're better swimmers than drivers?
Maybe. Some people might say, well, hey, the mayor lives on Harbor Island there, so maybe that's a reason why they're renovating this nice pool down there on Jenkins Swimming Pool on Davis Island.
Maybe. I mean, I'm down in South Tampa, there is all kinds of road work being done and new paving. So I don't really know the areas that are necessarily being neglected. Mm-hmm. So I'm not seeing it, to be honest.
Yeah. Hey, interesting story. We want to bring you the news, let you decide, determine what you think about that. Here's another story to talk about as well. It says gains in home buying and housing starts. June brought a 1.1% rise in existing home sales, and analysts polled by the Wall Street Journal had forecasted a 0.7 decline. In its new report, the National Association of Realtors said 33% of June sales involved first-time buyers, which was a 4-year peak. That's good news.
It's great news. And apparently it only took 6 months for the radio land to listen to the quarterback and the Maverick as far as home buyers. And apparently Wall Street Journal did not get the message.
That's right.
They're the same hacks that said that we need a housing bubble for millennials, which is just complete hogwash. So no, those are great numbers, and it's a great indicator. And June's always a big buying month, and excited to see what July and August and September, roll out, and then it starts to wane a little bit as kids go back to school and obviously have the holidays. And I'm assuming that's a national number, so you're going to see a little bit of a decline up in the winter months or the winter states where it's going to snow and no one really wants to be out and about. So that's a huge spike. And Interlinc, we had one of our best months in June, so it's no surprise to me. And as far as the first-time home buyers, that makes me happy that more people are taking that step now. To be considered a first-time home buyer, you either are buying your first home or you haven't owned a home in 3 years. So that's a good indication that some people that went through the housing crash are starting to get back in the game. They've calmed their fears. They're ready to take that risk. So that's going to make me sleep good at night.
And it's interesting, too, when we have these extremes in climate, whether you believe in climate change or not, whether you believe it's man-made or not, or if it's volcanoes shooting ash, whatever it might be, one of the key points that you mentioned earlier, Curt, and, you talked about how whenever the summers are warmer, it feels like it's a pretty hot summer down here, but, when you go up north, it's going to be potentially a colder winter.
Yeah.
That could affect home buying in Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, Bradenton, Sarasota.
It 100% will. And even further south, Fort Myers, Naples, that basically the whole entire west coast of Florida. But there's not much of an economy down there. It's all retires. Snowbirds, this, that, and the other. We actually have a legitimate economy, and St. Pete was ranked, I think, #1 in the state of Florida for millennials to move to. So you start seeing these individuals graduating from these northern colleges, wanting to escape the cold winters of Ohio and Pennsylvania and New York, and actually going down to St. Pete or Tampa. So yeah, you're 100% right. We're going to see a huge influx of home buying, home selling, everything over the next 18 to 24 months.
And you know what time it is now? The lightning round.
Ooh.
All right, top consumer tips, things to do, things to avoid. Bob, you're up first.
Hey, for your boat wraps, best thing to do is don't wait. They say it only takes about a week to get it designed for you. It's only 1 day out of the water. So while you're out there using the boat, make it look nice. Take advantage of the time now.
That's right. Love it. Love it. Great timing. Curt?
If you're at a celebrity golf tournament, do not slap Justin Timberlake, because apparently it'll lead to legal action.
Uh-oh.
You didn't hear about that?
I missed that one.
Yeah. Some celebrity golf tournament, someone walked up and slapped Justin Timberlake in the face.
Wow.
No. In all seriousness, if you own a home, get a CMA, have a real estate agent look and see what your house is worth. Go on Zillow and find out what's selling in your neighborhood, and look at see if you have some equity and look.
Realtor.com. We like Realtor.com better.
Yeah, Realtor.com. Yeah, any of those. It's going to show you what recent sales, and if they're comparable to your home. And if a house next door sold for $400,000, it's exactly like your home, there's a high likelihood your house is worth $400K.
Yeah, absolutely. Great point. And real estate related, there's a lot of things we talk about on the show. I'm going to go off real estate related and just into general consumer advocacy, and it's a lot about as a business owner or as a either a business owner or just a parent, or even a young person coming out of school. It's all about controlling your thoughts. The power of your thoughts are going to lead to your decisions, and the decisions you make are going to determine your destiny. So we want you to, think about your thoughts, think about ways that you can live a better life, and engage us here at the Real Estate Quarterback Show and plan for that legacy. There's a lot of distractions these days and things out there that pulling at us with social media and internet and TV. But I'd urge you to focus on, reading one more book than you read last month. Wake up in the morning, do something positive, volunteer, give back, and pay it forward. Bob?
With the paying it forward, just like to talk about a scuba program that we started up also with it trains wounded warriors.
Cool.
And it's totally free for the soldiers. It's a 501c3 called Poseidon Scuba, and it's a great way to get back to the community.
That's awesome. Where can you find more information about that?
PoseidonScuba.com, or you can also give me a call at 493-8000.
493-8000, PoseidonScuba.com, helping out the veterans.
Yes.
Love that. Curt?
It's funny you said you wake up and do something positive, and I watched the graduation speech for the University of Texas a few years back, and the gentleman, his whole entire idea was to get up and make your bed. It's the very first, and it seems so simple and so menial, but it literally is the first task that you accomplish every single morning. It's going to get you on that stepping stone of doing another task and another task and another task. And worst case scenario, if you have a bad day, you can at least come home to a freshly made bed. And literally go out there and Google University of Texas graduation speech. I think it was a naval officer that gave it, and literally watch the entire thing. It is completely uplifting. It's amazing.
Awesome. Love it. Hey, I want to thank all of our expert contributors, all the folks behind the scenes making this happen, our listeners out there. We love our listeners and our viewers. You can view the show at our live stream at realestateradiotampa.com. Also, check out our YouTube channel, a plethora of information available. We'd love for you to as well like our page at facebook.com/REQB show. And we would engage you and help you live a better life. I want to give us thanks to Bob Burmaster, Graphics Edge, graphicsedge.com, as well as Curt Lorden. He's the branch manager at Interlinc Mortgage here in Tampa Bay. Support your local lenders. Stay out of those big box banks on the corner. You know, those are the guys that took the bailout money. They gave their CEOs the golden parachute. Stay away from those guys. Support our local lenders. All of our contact info is at realestateradiotampa.com. Please go out there and consider making a random act of kindness. We'll see you next time.